It was 5 years into the 20th century, and the city of the Big Shoulders was already an industrial giant and growing. Its people were a perfect example of the American melting pot, arriving from all corners of the world with a wide variety of skills and talents, but a common belief that hard work and better ideas made all things possible. In 1871, they had designed and built the world's first metal frame skyscraper. In 1900, innovative engineers actually reversed the flow of the Chicago River, while its factories, steel mills, and businesses of every description shipped their products around the globe. Against this bustling backdrop in 1905, Chicagoan Paul Harris had an idea that business and professional people could join together in fellowship and service to the community. What he didn't know was how quickly his idea, Rotary, would take root and spread throughout the world. Rotary One Chicago, the world's first service club, is proud to share with you the earliest and only film taken of Paul Harris and the boys of 1905. It was shot in the 20s, rescued from the Rotary One archives, and restored by Rotarians. By the 1920s, Rotary was well established throughout North America, and Rotarians delighted, as they do today, in visiting the founding club, Rotary One Chicago. It was only natural that Scarsdale, New York Rotarian Charles Chick Sale, one of the most famous comic performers of the time, should head straight for the Chicago Club's headquarters in the Sherman Hotel. The Sherman House was one of Chicago's best-known hotels. It was the home of Rotary One for 61 years, and when it closed, Rotary One was the last to move its office from the famous hotel. Charles A. Schmidt was born in Neustadt, Germany, and became Assistant Secretary of the Rotary Club of Chicago in 1922. Schmidt served for the next 44 years, becoming a member in 1927 and Secretary in 1947, a post he held until his retirement in 1966. The 1918 influenza epidemic forced the club to shut down for 3 weeks, resulting in the creation of the Rotary Roundtable tradition. Past President Herb Angster was also the first district governor. From the very early days of Rotary, social events offered many opportunities to meet not only fellow Rotarians, but their families as well. Regular weekly luncheons featured prominent speakers and entertainers, including the world-renowned John Philip Sousa and his band of 200 Blue Jackets. Early Rotarians enjoyed dinner and theater parties, athletic outings like golf, bowling, or tennis, and Chicago's weather permitting, good old-fashioned picnics in the park. Through world wars and other history-changing events, the boys of 1905 always found ways to focus on the positive and the good in mankind. Every event, from the ending of a war to the changing of a season, was an opportunity to promote fellowship. Every idea was worth hearing, and many of them are working just fine to this very day. Sam Gorsline was sales manager for American Can Company. Paul Harris was an attorney, but his adventurous spirit saw him through many other experiences. After graduating from the University of Iowa Law School, he traveled for 5 years, working as a reporter, cowboy, teacher, orange picker, hay baler, marble salesman, actor, and worker on a cattle boat. In 1896, he began to practice law in Chicago, and 9 years later started Rotary. Jean Harris had come to Chicago in 1904 from Scotland with her parents, brothers, and sisters. She and Paul met one Saturday afternoon while hiking and were married 3 months later. Paul and Jean Harris were justly proud of their home in the Beverly Hills district on Chicago's South Side. Their home on a wooded hill was christened Cumley Bank, after the name of the street where she was raised in Edinburgh. Early Rotarian Charles Schneider was president of the Charles Schneider Floral Company, and like many of the founding members, was approaching retirement age. But the boys of 1905 were confident in the foundation they had established and ready to entrust the future of Rotary to the next generation. Rotarian Al White, a man with a wonderful sense of humor, never faltered, even after suffering the effects of a serious stroke. The pioneers of Rotary thought of themselves as ordinary men with an extraordinary spirit, infectious enthusiasm, and a duty to help those less fortunate than themselves. Legendary Chicago urban planner and architect Daniel H. Burnham said, "Make no little plans." For founder Paul Harris, the concept of Rotary always extended as far as the ability of Rotarians to reach out to others. Chess Perry, the first and only national and international secretary, originated the name badge and presided over the first Rotary Convention in 1910. Co-founder Harry Ruggles of the Harry Ruggles Printing Company started the luncheon singing tradition in 1905, leading Rotarians with his baton as they belted out such standards as the Stein Song. Sylvester Sheely, the first president of the Chicago Club, was a successful coal dealer and responsible for organizing many charitable programs. William Jensen, the first secretary of any Rotary Club, was in the real estate business. Rufus Chapin, nicknamed Roughhouse because he was such a gentle, agreeable soul, was secretary of the Union Trust Company and treasurer of Rotary International for 25 years. Another past president, Charles Newton, was the originator of the Rotary luncheon idea. Monty Bear of the M.M. Bear Company, which did steel and copper plate engraving, was the designer and creator of the first rotary wheel, the emblem of Rotary. Al White was president of A.L. White Manufacturing Company, makers of cut glass and folding organs, and was the club's second president. Will Neff, a State Street dentist, was secretary of the Chicago Club for many years. Clark Hawley, an eye, ear, nose, and throat doctor, was the Rotarian who started the club's charity service idea in 1907 with the purchase of a horse for a country doctor. John Sullivan owned a painting and decorating business. Barney Arnson was a mortician, but his nickname Cupid showed that he was better known for his matchmaking abilities. Bob Fletcher, an architect, devoted much of his free time supporting the growth of public libraries. Harry Crofts was president of Illinois Paper Box Company and a past president who, due to his travels, attended many meetings in California. Nicknamed the Boy Orator, Charlie Schneider always voiced his opinion when club issues arose. He was president of Schneider Floral Company and the unofficial recorder of the club. Affable Fred Tweed built his glass sign business from 2 employees to over 700 and was instrumental in founding the New York Club. Max Goldenberg, president of the Goldenberg Furniture Company, built and donated the president's chair, now on display in the Rotary One Club's offices. Today, Rotarians of every race and creed gather in over 150 countries around the world to carry on the fellowship and tradition of service established by the boys of 1905. The warm and generous spirit that reverberated across the banquet room of the Sherman Hotel so many years ago echoes today in the laughter and smiles of millions who benefit from the charitable programs of Rotarians in every corner of the globe. Rotary One Chicago, Paul Harris's founding club, remains today a vibrant example of the ideals established by the boys of 1905. Its Tuesday luncheons, just a few blocks from the original Sherman Hotel, feature prominent speakers and warmly welcome visiting Rotarians from clubs all around the world. The Gyrator has also come a long way, but is still written by Rotarians and still reports on the many charitable Rotary One events that carry on the work of the founding members. And it all started in 1905 with the simple idea that people with vision could work together and make a difference in the world.